I'm Faye What, and let's queer up the USA view. Man arrested after allegedly shooting outside LGBTQ plus club in Myrtle Beach. No injuries reported. A man has been arrested following a shooting outside an LGBTQ plus nightclub in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on April 1st. According to reports from WIST, no injuries were reported in the incident. Police say 37-year-old Timothy James Truett allegedly opened fire outside Pulse Ultra Club, damaging a vehicle owned by the venue's operator. Authorities state the shooting shattered both the rear passenger window and the windshield. Law enforcement later stopped a vehicle matching surveillance footage from the scene. Truett was reportedly behind the wheel, and officers say they recovered a firearm and shell casings. While a motive has not been confirmed, Truett faces multiple charges, including hate intimidation. This marks the first use of Myrtle Beach's hate intimidation law since 2024. He remains in custody on a $312,000 bond. Another gun outside a queer space. You know, we're tired. We're so tired of this. And even when no one is hurt, the message is loud and clear. And the message is hate. That is what the message is. LGBTQ people should not have to scan the parking lot before they go dance. Period. You know, but I mean, this also is just another high alert to tell everybody that, you know, we need to go back to old school ways. Back in the day in the 90s when I was a young little lesbian, you know, you went somewhere with somebody and you left with somebody, you know, and you made sure that if you were leaving separately because maybe somebody found, you know, a date for the night, you let me know when you got home in some way, shape or form. You know, these are the times that we're in right now. Anything could happen. We don't know if that gentleman was an ex of somebody or if it was an intimidation hate crime aspect, but it's still scary.
So I think you're absolutely right. I did some more research on this story, and there's not a lot about this guy, but a $312,000 bail and the hate crime accelerator only adds 30 days and a $500 fine. So if this guy's on $300,000 bond, there's got to be more to him or more to this than what they're reporting. I mean, some people can get out on homicide charges for a $50,000 bond.
Scary, yes.
So, but I think the biggest takeaway from this story is that this is the first test of the hate crime ordinance. This is unique to Myrtle Beach in the area, but South Carolina is a very deep red state. So one, will the charge hold until they go to trial? Will a jury convict? And will the state Supreme Court hold it up? So this is a story, not necessarily for the violence, which unfortunately is becoming very de rigueur and common, is to see how courts allow this to play out in this particular venue.
Yeah, because when people get arrested, they throw a bunch of charges on you, you know, just to be able to hold you a certain amount of time and to also have that bond be that high that you can't afford it, you know, to get out. And then they start dropping the charges like nothing, you know. Right. So we hope that one, the hate crime intimidation, is not one of the ones that's dropped.
Right.
But we would still need to know more of the story to be able to even know.
Yeah, apparently nobody at the club knew him. He wasn't an ex of anybody who worked there, and I guess several patrons talked. They were talked to the owners, and they were like, "We haven't seen this guy before." So it doesn't sound like he's connected to anyone or the venue specifically.
The venue's name, Pulse. I mean, it's kind of eerie.
As a tribute, I would guess.
I don't know.
But of course, when you say, you know, even when the words came out of my mouth, I was like, wow, it hurts. Yeah. Not that it feels, there's a discomfort to say Pulse when I say another nightclub's name, you know, and I know that it was Pulse something, but still, it's still, you know, the similarities we don't want to have. How about that? And there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.